right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Mayfield to the end zone. Evans, touchdown! Mayfield, he's got White at the 10, 5, touchdown! Rashad White. Love, pressure coming. He's in trouble. He lost the football. Scooped up by Tampa Bay. David Moore exploding to the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
That was a tough one. Give Tampa a ton of credit. They came in and they whooped us in every phase.
We've had highs and we've had lows, so it's just finding a way to win these games. That's what it comes down to.
Right now, we're looking for solutions.
We've got 3 games left, so just got to get back to the win column.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Oh no! We suck again!
I thought you were going to say, oh no, Joe must go.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah?
That would be a good one.
Wow.
I'd have to believe at this point he's gone. I mean, whether or not that happens today, I think is, if you think that, if you're Matt LaFleur and you think that that is somehow going to galvanize your team by firing your defensive coordinator and help you win the last 3 games, that's about the only way you do it, but...
What if Murphy called him in and fired him like he did to McCarthy? This is that bad.
Oh, sure.
God, that was bad.
It's not good.
Perfect passer rating?
Yeah.
That looked like 7 on 7, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, look, I mean, Chris Godwin had 10 catches, 155 yards. The last touchdown was just...
Yeah, it was just... Wow. It was... Wow, did that look easy? I could have had 4 catches for 16 yards.
16?
Yeah.
1-6? So you could have had the day that Aaron Jones had.
Yes.
4 catches for 16 yards?
No, I'm talking if I was playing for Tampa Bay
against
Joe Barry's defense.
Sure. And you're saying current form not old Chewy.
Yes, against that defensive performance, maybe more than 16 yards.
I mean, maybe you stretch out a little bit to kind of fall forward.
I fall forward, it's 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You fall forward, those yards add up quickly, big guy.
Yeah.
It was just to go from the euphoria of the 2 games that we had of beating Detroit and beating Kansas City back to back, big time nationally televised games too.
Yeah,
like one of the highest rated ever. 11:30 starts, that early game on Thanksgiving, to be featured on Sunday Night Football. Like, it just, to lay the 2 eggs that you did. I mean, Joe Barry is going to make back-to-back NFC Offensive Players of the Week out of Tommy DeVito, an offense that put up 6 points yesterday against New Orleans.
And Baker
Mayfield. Because I have a hard time imagining that 381 yards, 4 TDs, and a perfect 158.3 quarterback rating isn't going to be good enough to be the NFC Player of the Week. It's just so bad because the thing that I don't get, you, and maybe you can explain this to me. Explain this to me like I'm 5, please. It seems like teams identify something that they can take advantage of in whatever Joe Barry's doing that day, and then they can just consistently go back to it. Oh, we got sacked and lost 9 yards and it's 2nd and 19. No problem. They're just playing zone. We can run Chris Godwin over the middle and Quay Walker has no chance. Or Devondre Campbell has no chance. It just seemed like they knew something that Joe Barry didn't because they continuously attacked those 2 inside linebackers over the middle of the field. They were in some sort of zone and they just kept...
Yeah. No, it was bad. I lost it and I texted you guys, I think, like, is this flag football? The one play where they, back in the day.
Oh, Chris Godwin did that a couple of times where he just kind of covered it up and just almost gave up.
What happened to back in the day? First guy holds him up, wraps him up, and the other guy comes in and the other guys come in and clean him and try to get the ball out. That wasn't, I'm like, what is that? How do you coach that? Oh, just hold him up until the ref blows the whistle. Do you know which play I'm talking about?
I mean, I think it happened multiple times. I mean, Chris Godwin had 10 catches yesterday, none for touchdowns, which was the surprising part. But it happened multiple times with him yesterday, where he just kind of covers it up, gives himself up, and the Packers just never really hit him.
You wonder why we say you're soft. You wonder why. Certainly no flying around.
No. And look, I don't think there's a ton of really good defenses that do fly around at this point in the NFL, but 158.3 to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's he's a starting NFL quarterback. He's probably about as average as you get in the NFL.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right?
It's about as average as you get.
Smack in the middle.
To let him do that in a game that is big. This is a team that you're in kind of the thick of it with in terms of tiebreakers, and there are so many teams that are 7-7 and 6-8 right now in the NFC. All these little different tiebreakers matter, and now you're hoping that Tampa Bay wins the division, and I guess you're hoping that Atlanta doesn't come to life.
It doesn't even matter. Make the playoffs. Who gives a? You know what I mean?
Well, but if they rebound from these two performances and win their next three, because that's what it would take, Chew.
Yes.
That's what it would take to make the playoffs. That does matter. That does matter to this young team.
But the sole purpose of the rest of the year is to get this guy fired. So whatever it takes to get him fired, if that's losing 3, if that's winning 3, if it's today.
I guess that is the fear, and we did put that up on the poll yesterday during Green Bay game night at ESPN Milwaukee. Would you rather, win the next 3 games and make the playoffs, or have Joe Barry be fired? And it was pretty overwhelming last time I checked. It was 86% were saying fire Joe Barry. They would rather miss the playoffs and make sure they don't have to watch that. But here's the problem I keep coming back to with this defense, Chew. And Mike Daniels pointed this out last week on Twitter. We discussed it briefly, but if you happen to miss it, he basically put something out there on Twitter saying, hey, I played next to Hall of Famers. I played with some pretty good players in Green Bay. And yet this kind of seems to be, no matter who the defensive coordinator is, no matter who the personnel is, this just kind of seems to be it. This just kind of seems what the Packers defense is. Why is that? I mean, I would hope that he, as a former defensive player, would have been able to answer that for us, the fan, but I digress. It's not just Joe Barry. Not that I'm defending Joe Barry and think he needs to stick around. I do not. I do think he is more part of the problem than the solution. But additionally, even if you have a really bad defensive coordinator, if you have the talent that everybody thought you had dating back to last offseason, going into the 2022 year, if the Packers actually had that kind of talent, wouldn't they rise up and make plays on occasion? Wouldn't somebody tip a ball and intercept Baker Mayfield instead of having him have a 158.3? I think we're getting closer and closer to this actually being very similar to what it was in 2008. Because the Packers defense with Aaron Rodgers, they believed in him so much. In 2008, they hit the reset button. They fired the defensive coordinator, brought in Dom Capers, and used that draft. They had a top 10 pick to take B.J. Raji and then took Clay Matthews, and the rest is history. They rebooted the defense. Now, the Packers are in a different spot where they've just continuously put resources into this defense. But there aren't, at best, they have 2 difference makers when healthy. At best.
Defensively?
Defensively.
Kenny Clark
best.
and...
No. At best when healthy.
Who? Jair?
Rashawn and Jair. And Gary still has a little bit of growing to do. Gary still has, I think, to get healthy.
Get consistent.
Yeah, there's some consistency there, but you see the big plays. Because Rashawn Gary, despite the Packers having 5 sacks yesterday, Rashawn Gary had 1 tackle. That's it. That's his stat line.
Yeah.
So he's not in that upper echelon of elite pass rushers. So that's why I'm even giving him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. And then Jair's not, he hasn't been healthy. He's missed the last 6 games.
Yeah.
There's nobody, and Kenny Clark had 2 sacks yesterday.
I think it's in there, though. I think it's in there. I think with a guy like Quay Walker, who I would say has been a disappointment this year.
Sure.
The talent is there.
I don't know if it is, though, because shouldn't that talent, shouldn't some of that talent just be popping off the field?
It should.
As I'm sitting at home watching this, at some point over the last 14 games, shouldn't that talent have been popping?
Yeah, one would think.
And I guess that's where I come down on this is, look, Joe Barry. Yes, fire Joe Barry. But I also think the issues go deeper. Like, it's going to take a bigger rebuild than just everything's right here in front of you. You just have to hire the right defensive coordinator. Now, maybe it gets better and the right defensive coordinator brings in the right staff that brings, that has those coaching positions that brings out the most of a guy like Quay Walker, because I would argue that the coaching staff certainly is not doing that currently. But I fear right now that it goes deeper than just, it's 100% on Joe Barry.
So you're putting some of the blame on Goody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some of it goes on Goody. Some of it goes on LaFleur for keeping Barry around. Like, there are plenty of reasons. There are plenty of things. Now, Joe Barry takes a lion's share, more than likely, of the credit. I mean, if you wanted to give a lion's share to Matt LaFleur, I would understand that because it's LaFleur's decision to keep Barry around this year. But there's plenty of blame to go around for the defense. I don't think it's a simple fix.
So what are you saying? Blow it up? What would you do with Jair? LaFleur is clearly upset with him.
Yes.
Clearly upset with him.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Look, I mean, for him to say, it's tough for me to play when I'm not 100%. And then to have Dontavian Wicks go out there and have the day that he did on a bum ankle.
Where we didn't even think he was going to play.
Yeah. And he goes out there and has has the best game of his career. 6 catches, 97 yards.
Is this kind of like 92?
I don't know.
Where Ron just got rid of problems.
Here's my problem, though, Chew, of getting rid of Jair. I get it. He's like the one field tilter that I feel most confident in when he's healthy. I understand he's not out there right now and you can't trust him to be out there and yada, yada, yada. But he's the one really good player you have defensively.
Sure. And when he plays.
Yes.
Yeah, but how good has Jair been the past 2 years? Besides the Justin Jefferson game?
Justin Jefferson, one catch. Ever heard of him?
You got one game. Tell me more.
He played really good against the Rams this year.
Is he going to start tackling?
No.
But you don't need to be you don't have to be a tackler to be a really good corner in today's NFL.
Tilters,
he's not as good as he thinks he is. Am I right?
Sure.
He's not elite. He's not elite.
Yeah, he's a top 5 corner when he's healthy.
Top 5.
Yeah, top 5 corner. That's
elite.
elite.
That's elite?
Yeah, top 5's pretty elite. Wait, you think top 5 isn't elite?
No, I say top 3. Top 3's elite.
No.
Yes, because there's gaps.
You're splitting the finest of hairs.
And it fluctuates yearly. So if he's one year.
I don't think top 5's elite.
If you're the top 5 in the world at something, you're not elite.
Because I wasn't elite.
You were 100. Madden.
Yeah.
No, you were. You at your best, you were elite.
I was not elite.
No, okay, look, I understand you're doing the humble thing right now, but
no, I think it's... What did he do? I'm not even looking at him.
But
was there a face involved with that noise?
I mean, I think you have kids. I'm sure you've seen the face that accompanies that noise.
No, I don't think it's elite. I really don't. Is Josh Allen elite? He's top 5 quarterback. He's not elite.
Oh, is Josh Allen a top 5 quarterback?
He can be.
Yeah.
He has been.
Is he elite?
You're looking for somebody who's just 10. There's not a lot of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's out there who every year they go out and they're the top 1 or 2 at their position. That
makes you elite.
Those people just don't exist.
Not anymore?
No. You got Patrick Mahomes right now and Aaron Donald, and that's probably all I'd say I could confirm. Maybe DJ Watt.
That are elite.
Yes. That are consistent performers year over year.
He's a nice player when he's on the field.
He's a really good player.
Is Kenny Clark elite?
No. Kenny Clark's a really good player. Kenny Clark is certainly somebody I want on my team, but
I don't think he's elite. He's not elite.
All right.
He's not elite.
We agree.
Yeah, fine. Fine. He's not elite.
Okay.
Then they don't have anybody that stands out.
But Kenny Clark isn't the problem on the defense.
Yeah.
Did the Bucks win?
They did. Won
Not
both
those
games.
Bucks.
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna
talking.
say, both of them did.
Yeah. 3-0 this weekend. Team's named the Bucks.
That was so painful to watch.
All in Wisconsin.
Is there anybody really on? Because we keep saying the players have to make plays, and I agree. I said that much earlier this season. There's truth to it, but aside from Carrington, Valentine, and maybe Jair when he's on the field, does anybody outperform their draft status or what they're being paid? Like, it doesn't seem like anybody develops above.
Yeah, that's my point, Josh.
Offensively, they do.
Yeah, but we're talking about the defense
Yeah,
only.
I know.
Defense only.
And when you start talking about development, I start then looking at coaching. I look at Jerry Montgomery and all the assets he's gotten on the defensive line, just the defensive front, the down lineman thing.
Yeah.
Though, besides Kenny Clark, who from there you've been like, wow, that guy developed into something special. Middle linebacker, Quay Walker, what's he doing?
How many first-round picks are there on offense? You got Love.
That's it, and that's the list.
You got Love.
Yeah, because they haven't spent first round pick, like famously, Chew. Like haven't spent a first round pick on anybody.
You have eight first round picks on the defense and none on the offense. That's how you end up with 8 on one side.
And
Like, I think the last offensive first round pick was that what's his name, the tackle they took in 2011. Oh yeah, Jordan Love. Other than Jordan Love, but before that it was the offensive line who broke his leg and it was terrible.
Rashad Sherrard.
Yeah.
Sherrard. Yeah.
Derek Sherrod.
Mississippi State.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Play it. He was right.
Chewy was right.
Thank you.
Holy, Chewy was right.
It was funny because, I was at my buddy's place, the Dousman House, wonderful place to watch a game. And everyone's betting. They pass, who's going to win. And finally, by the end of the game, I was betting on first downs. 2nd and 19, I'm like, I guarantee they get the first down here. He's like, there's no way they get it. They pick up like 13.
Yeah.
I'm like, they got 2 downs left here. I cleaned house just on first downs.
I want to talk about this Dousman place you were hanging out in yesterday. It seemed like you were hanging out with some interesting characters. But we've got some texts I want to get to on the Talking Text line, 800-990-3776. Reaction to the Packers' loss yesterday to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 34-20. We get to some of your responses. Coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Starting off with a nice quiet ride so far. East and westbound 94 pretty much at standard speeds. Southbound 43 moving along pretty well. Maybe a quick tap of the brakes right through the Capitol Drive area. 13 minutes though from Brown Deer Road to downtown. And then on 41 north and southbound both looking just fine between Highway Q and the Zoo. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Morning snow showers, then cold, very windy. A high of 34. And then tonight mostly clear, cold with a low of 19. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga. 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack bottles, Essential Everyday Purified Water, 2 for $7. 20 to 31.6 ounce Selected Varieties Brew Pub Pizza, $5.99. Selected Varieties Prairie Farms Gallon White Milk, $3.99. 64-ounce Selected Varieties Mott's Apple Juice, $2.99.
Look at those brats. You do tailgating right. Absolutely. Did you see the spread out there? You've got enough food to feed the entire lot. I'm splurging now and then hoping to win $700 in free groceries. $700? Yeah, it's all part of the 70th anniversary at Century Foods. No kidding. Next week, I'll do the shopping. Maybe I'll score $700 in groceries. All you need is the weekly code. It's on Century's Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I just remembered. I'll be out of town next week. Yeah, right, cheapskate.
Ends January 3rd.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them all throughout the holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From spectacular brunch events to a holiday marketplace to one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at the hotel. Special packages are now available. Make your plans today to celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As the end of 2023 approaches, I'm grateful for the entire James Imaging Systems team. So thank you for your steadfast commitment and incredible work ethic to help our clients turn challenges into opportunities. Opportunities that help them succeed. I also extend my gratitude to our clients for the trust and confidence you've placed in James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner. It's an honor to play a small part in helping you grow and plan for a better, more rewarding 2024. Finally, as we spend time with others during this holiday season, I believe that if we display the positive energy of gratitude, we'll provide our community with a foundation of grace on which to build a brighter and successful future. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thanks, Ernie. I'm going to Venmo you that money right after the show.
You can't. You don't know how to use Venmo.
Made my workload much less. But Ernie,
You don't know how to
Ernie,
do it, and I don't know
does
how to
it ever?
On 94.5 ESPN.
Packers lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 34-20. And there's some things going on. 800-990-3776 in the talk and text line. Somebody had pointed out, I'd kind of lost it here now, saying take a look at what has happened in Minnesota, where, obviously the defense coordinator has made a big difference there. Brian Flores hired as the defensive coordinator for Minnesota. I would also argue that Minnesota has much better talent than the Green Bay Packers do defensively. Like Danielle Hunter is...
Then you are putting a lot of blame on Goody.
Yeah.
If you're saying that.
Sure. But, Danielle Hunter is second in the league in sacks. Like, this is a guy who now has had 5 10-plus sack seasons. And the only time he didn't get there recently was because he only played 7 games, still had 6 sacks there. Like, Danielle Hunter's really good. Harrison Smith is widely considered one of the better safeties in the league. Like, the Packers haven't had a safety like Hunter Smith, or like Harrison Smith in forever. Like, there's some talent on that team as well. I just figured that if all this talent exists on the Packers defense, at some point it would pop. And the best we can say, like this from Dave from Aaron, I think Gary will be elite. Yeah, I hope so.
Not elite.
Hope so. Again. Maybe we should stop using that word around Chewy because he doesn't know what it means.
Well, what are we waiting for? Why? Eventually, he should be right. What's he in his 4th year?
Yeah, but ACL last year. He's still coming back from the ACL this year. Like next year, I think is the year that Gary pops.
Okay.
I just don't think he's ever going to be TJ Watt.
No.
Or Micah Parsons or like. Do we see him having 16-plus sacks in a season like a Nick Bosa?
No.
He'll probably be a 10 to 12, high-end 14.
He won't be Clay Matthews.
So basically,
his day.
so basically he's another Kenny Clark.
He'll never
like in his top end, his really good season, he'll make a Pro Bowl or 2, but he's not like one of those top consistent performers. Like, oh, this guy's going to be all pro every year. Or this guy's going to the Pro Bowl.
Won't be talked about as defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
That's elite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And look, I'm not saying that. I want to be perfectly clear when I'm saying I'm blaming a lot of the players as well. Joe Barry stinks. Joe Barry should be fired. I guess I'm just past that because I'm at a point where I'm concerned that it is more than just a defensive coordinator problem. That is my largest concern. That's why I'm kind of taking a look around and going, is there something bigger here? Or are the Packers going to go out, hire a defensive coordinator, have everybody get excited about it, and then we continue to see performance like this in 2024 because there's some deeper issues that they didn't actually address. That's my largest concern.
Would you want him fired today, or does it matter? Or
Yes.
let him finish out the season.
No,
if you knew he was gone,
if I knew he was gone, I wouldn't care. There's a part of me that, and this is where it becomes a tough as a Packers fan, because as a Packers fan, I want them to win the next 3 games, Chew. I want to win the next 3 games.
You want them to win every game.
Yes, exactly. And I want them to go to the playoffs. Here's the problem. If they win the next 3 games and go to the playoffs, there's a chance that Matt LaFleur convinces himself that Joe Barry needs to stick around, and the last 2 games were the aberration.
then he's going to get himself fired.
Look, I understand that. I get that. But I would rather have him fired today.
Just to know it happened?
Just to know. Just to have the peace of mind of knowing in 2024 somebody else is going to be leading this defense for the Green Bay Packers.
I've started playing this out in my head. Even if he gets fired today and there's the new round of coaching hires for defensive coordinators, I'm not all that confident Matt LaFleur doesn't go to his buddy Brandon Staley.
I'd rather have Joe Barry.
He's not going to fire him today.
What
he's not firing him today. He's not firing him today.
He
couldn't even fire the special teams coach after, speaking of which, take him with you. Right?
I mean, look, the special teams weren't an issue yesterday. 0 problems with the special teams yesterday.
Wow, that was painful to watch.
Yeah, and it was mostly because of the defense. 800-990-3776. Let's go out to Dan in Sheboygan. Dan, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, big fella, aren't the Packers ranked 32nd in special teams?
Yes.
Aren't they dead last?
Yeah.
Or 31st.
I agree with the Packer Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Take both of them. So basically what LaFleur is saying is every coach was a problem except for LaFleur. When do we come to a point where it's like, okay, maybe LaFleur is a problem? The defensive coordinator, he's not good enough. Special teams coach isn't good enough. They're all picked by LaFleur. Maybe LaFleur's got to look in the mirror.
Yeah, there's part of that.
So here's my comparison of why I'm okay with LaFleur, Dan. Like, when I look at the offense, I see the potential.
Yes,
I see. I mean,
good. They're going to be.
You
good.
see, like the throw that Jordan Love had to Jaden Reed yesterday, probably his best throw of the year. The feet control by Jaden Reed to get that foot down and be able to do the toe tap like that. You see this potential. You see this growth happening within the offense. I don't see it defensively.
Is that LaFleur's job to run the offense, or is his job to run the entire team? What do you think his job should be?
Yeah.
But mostly run the defense.
No, the offense.
Or yeah, mostly run the offense. And yeah, run the entire team.
Whose job is to run the entire team then? If LaFleur's job is only to run the offense, whose job is to actually be the head coach? To run the...
Yeah, LaFleur.
Yeah,
and that's the question. He's a good play caller, very good play. I think he's a very, very good play caller. I don't know if he knows how to manage a team.
I mean,
just the Jair standpoint, Gabe. I'd have that guy in my office and say, "What are you doing?"
Didn't he do a damn good job managing one of the biggest egos we've seen in sports? Keeping that team together, getting them into the playoffs 13-3.
I don't know. I thought he did
13-3, 13-3, 13-4. Like, dude, how does none of this ever count?
Never.
He never gets any credit. He doesn't get any credit for keeping Aaron Rodgers in check, getting Aaron Rodgers back to an MVP level. And it's just, look, I understand. He's hired a bad defensive coordinator. He held on to him for too long. And yes, he deserves blame for that. I do not believe that Matt LaFleur deserves to be fired for that.
No.
Bleeping weeks ago, we were talking about this guy being coach of the year.
And it's also, that's how the NFL works now. The main head coach, they have one side they specialize in, and they leave the other side to their coordinators.
Well, guess what?
Which is the way it should be.
Guess what? That's not new, Joshy.
Right.
Hey, Chewy, back in the 90s, how much did Holmgren have to do with the defense, or did he just let Fritz Schirmer do his thing?
Fritz did his thing. Ray did his thing. But it's his responsibility to manage this team, because what's the key?
Look, he made a bad decision in bringing him back this year.
The last thing you want are other players saying, well, he didn't play because he wasn't 100%. How come I have to play?
But it's not happening.
Not yet.
But you just saw Dontavian Wicks go out there with a bum ankle.
Yes.
Like, I don't think so. If that's the attitude that those players have, is, well, he's not playing, so I'm not going to. I don't want you around anyway. Like, I don't think you're going to be around here long term. I think they've got a good group of players, especially on the offensive side of the ball, mostly on the offensive side of the ball, where I don't think that's going to happen. Like, Jair right now is the aberration. He's the standout. You got guys trying to work their way back and pushing through. Heck, as much as we make fun of Christian Watson, especially on this show,
let me ask you this.
Like, I think Watson was playing hurt earlier. Like, when he got caught from behind, he clearly wasn't 100% against the Raiders, but he was still playing through it.
Let me ask you this, because I talk about back in my day how Mondays after a game like this would be stressful. It would be miserable.
Yeah.
You think these players today are like, oh, man, we got to go in?
I think the young players on offense are yes. Like Jair, no. Because Jair's just a different cat.
Kenny Clark, you think?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Kenny.
And also, is there anybody in the NFL besides Bill Belichick's Patriots that come in scared?
Yeah, Andy Reid.
I don't think that team's scared.
I think Andy's a little different than even when he coached you at this point.
You think so?
I think he's had to change with the times.
Yeah, but Andy can get it out of you without yelling to just let you know how disappointed he is.
Sure.
There's nothing
Which
worse
is different.
than
Yeah.
That's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah,
or
but
at least it was for me.
Like going in, like, do I think that Travis Kelce was terrified of Andy Reid after they lost to the Packers a couple weeks ago? Like going in on Monday? No, I don't. Do I think he didn't want to go in on Monday because they lost to the Packers? Yeah, because he's got that competitiveness to him. I think there's an element of this is going to be tough because we got to go in and review this, and I'm a competitor, and we failed yesterday. I think that's a large part of it. I think a lot of that's individual.
God, when guys don't care, it's not good.
And I don't know that exists on this team. There's something up with Jair. I don't know what.
You think he wants out?
Maybe. It's literally when it comes to Jair, everything is on the table. Everything is on the table.
Yeah, those guys are just not good in locker rooms, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
Like Sterling? I love Sterling.
Yeah.
Not good in the locker room.
I mean, and Jair might be Sterling.
Not good in the locker room.
That could be a good comparison, although Sterling is probably better than Jair. Okay.
Shut up. Go to commercial.
Sterling was elite, right?
Was he elite?
On our team.
Yes. That's the only team he played for.
Yes. Sterling was, for 2 years, the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, elite?
Yes.
Jair, no. No, he's not elite. I'm sorry.
Would you call any cornerback elite unless they led the league?
No, there's one. He's got one. That's the only one.
Is a leader.
Only ever?
Yes.
Yeah, the only elite cornerback to ever play in the NFL.
Insult to Dion for me to call Jair elite.
Do you think Dion might have been a locker room problem?
No, Dion was the best.
Come on.
I would have took him in our locker room, even though he was playing for the other team before the game.
He said he didn't want to tackle.
That's fine. He didn't have to.
Yeah. Look, Dion was so good, no one cared.
Yeah.
Like, I have never heard a single story about Dion being a bad teammate.
Poor Robert Brooks. Clear out, Robert. Clear out. Clear out. Go to the other side of the field. No, it was 10 on 10. That's it. It was new football.
10 on 10 football.
It was 10 on 10. No, literally. Yeah.
And the one time Brett threw his way when you guys beat up the Cowboys at home. Dion pick six.
Yes. And I had him toasted. He fell down in Lambeau, and I'm wide open.
Brett didn't see you?
Huh?
Brett didn't see you?
That would have been on a lot of highlight films.
I wish the All-22 existed.
I could have retired if that
I wish
happened.
I could go to NFL Plus right now and they had the All-22.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't go back to 1997, unfortunately.
Yeah. I was doing jumping jacks. Nothing. I probably would have caught the ball, took my helmet off, put it down, and retired right there. Showmanship. Am I right?
Going out on top. 800-990-3776. Plenty of your calls to get to, along with some of these texts I want to get to as well, coming up on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But you've probably heard of employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? Fifth Third offers unmatched expertise and flexibility when creating ESOP solutions, from full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future going into 2024. I love the people at Fifth Third Bank. Great people to work with. You should be working with them as well. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
A few backups right now coming down southbound 43 from just before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Westbound side's still clear right now, even though we've got a couple of broken down vehicles between Calhoun and Barker Road. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, morning snow showers, then cold, very windy with the high of 34. Tonight, mostly clear and cold, a low of 19. Weather is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, offering the perfect holiday gift. A memorable experience with Bartolotta gift cards. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And happy holidays, Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a converged company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Come to Fiserv Forum to see the resurgent Wisconsin Badgers on December 28th and 29th in the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. See how Coach Hastings has rebuilt the Badgers into a national power. Get your tickets now to see the Badgers battle the Air Force Falcons in primetime on day one. The excitement continues with perennial power and three-time national champion Minnesota Duluth playing the Northeastern Huskies in the other semifinal. Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day two. Get your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Come to Kessler's this Christmas.
You'll get the lowest prices of a lifetime.
And a gift that will last forever.
Put a bigger diamond in her engagement ring.
Or give her a big pair of diamond stud earrings.
The kind that people notice from across the room.
Diamond stud earrings always fit perfectly, and they can be worn with anything.
But diamond earrings always look best when they are worn with a smile.
And with every purchase of at least $298, you'll get a marvelous leather travel case for your jewelry.
Just 4 inches square by 2 inches thick, wonderfully padded and full of perfect little compartments.
You're going to love it.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned diamond company in the world.
Our stores have nearly 9,000 Google reviews.
And each store has a 4.9 star average.
Except for the 2 that have 5 stars.
You're going to be happy, happy, happy.
Find the Kessler's nearest you.
And see our extended holiday hours
at KesslersDiamonds.com.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
I'm attorney David Gruber. You've heard our slogan thousands of times, but we are much more than just one call. We are one team, one community, one family, and we're the one law firm that can get you the results and compensation you deserve after a serious accident. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If it's gotten to the point...
I don't think shower.
What do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to take a shower? You just told me you're offended by your own BO.
No, but I think it's deodorant, Gabe. Showering does nothing. It really doesn't.
You are wrong.
Because...
You must be showering wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Matt, would you ever consider an in-season change at coordinator?
Now's not the time for that, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Because now's not the time. I'm trying to find solutions, and I got to go back and take a look at the film.
Well, some people would say the solution's right in front of your face.
He said, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The door...
He's not going to do that.
I doubt he does it today.
Yeah.
But he left the door ajar. He did not straight up dismiss it. The door was left open for it to potentially happen today.
Did he call him out again like he did the week before?
So he did that the day after. He did that the Monday.
Oh, that was the Monday.
That was or Tuesday because they played Monday night last week. But So he did that on Tuesday. And maybe he calls him out again today because he'll be meeting with the media as he typically does. But that was Matt LaFleur after the game tonight, or last night, I should say. 800-990-3776. The number to get into the show. We've had a couple of texts asking where Jen is. Much deserved vacation as she went on a cruise with her family. She'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So she'll be back tomorrow. No big deal.
Cruise sounds good. No?
I've never been.
They're lovely.
Nothing about cruise seems like something I want to do.
Why?
Trapped on a ship with people.
I feel like, and maybe I'm way off, but I feel like the room I would feel a little claustrophobic in.
Yeah, they are a little. Yeah, but you're in a new port every morning. Wake up. Go do your thing. Huh?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Good.
The food would be probably the most interesting part for me.
Yeah, food's very good. I get the people thing.
We can ask her about it tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
when she's back.
Think she watched the game?
Yeah, she was texting during the game.
Oh, she was?
Man, how hammered did you get?
I was involved
yesterday.
No, I had there's a lot of things going on. A lot of moving, shaking, a lot of old school jerseys.
What am I supposed to think when I see a James Starks jersey in a picture that Chewy sends us?
Somebody got a gift from their kid or their wife.
And they just have to continue to wear it?
They're expensive.
I mean, it's been a decade since James Starks played.
Why? If you were to buy a jersey right now, who would you get?
Dontavian Wicks.
That's a solid one.
Jane Reed, Jordan Love.
Zach Tom.
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary. He's going to be here a while.
Yeah, he signed his extension. He ain't going anywhere. Let's go out to the phone lines, 800-990-3776. Alan in Milwaukee has a Chewy question. Alan, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Good.
So, I guess I'm going back where Gabe is talking about, waiting for these draft picks to pop. I'm going back to, your playing days. So, how does that play in the locker room? Because I feel like you should draft on offense and sign proven commodities on defense because you can always get stats for cheap. But on defense, it would make sense to have guys who you know who they are and you know what they can and can't do. If they don't have to be all pros, they just have to be guys where you know what you're getting. So, when you're in the locker room or, on the team, how does that play when you're just constantly waiting for that other side or that other unit to, pull their weight or, do their job, I guess, essentially?
It's tough because at times you do want to call out the other side of the ball. But you have to fight it, and that's one of the first things that's addressed at the start of training camp is, hey, we're in this thing together. There's 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. But yeah, there are times you got to bite your tongue.
I mean, ultimately, the offense wasn't good enough either yesterday. 20 points isn't good enough to beat many teams.
No,
right?
But Jordan played.
But Jordan again,
pretty good.
But the difference is, you see the growth in Jordan Love. You see him playing well. You see guys playing well on that side of the ball.
Yes.
And you do not see that on the defensive side.
No. They're just stuck in mud.
Yeah.
They're just spinning their wheels. Would you trade one of these receivers, though?
No.
To get a defensive guy?
No.
If you need more help on the defense, you said that's lacking talent.
But I don't know.
And
I don't know what the worth for any of those guys is right now. It's not like you're going to get a top-tier defensive player for any one of these guys. They're all growing receivers.
Yeah, but they're all pretty good.
Well, so here's my fear. As much as I love Dontavian Wicks right now, how much did we love Romeo Doubs last year? Feel like
Yeah,
I feel where you're giving Dobbs a lot of love last year. He's the fourth receiver right now.
Yeah, I would agree. He
When everybody's healthy, he's the fourth receiver.
Yes.
And like his stat lines are, and not to say he's not a contributor. I mean, he had a few catches yesterday, but his stat lines are always 3 for 30. 4 for, it seems like every catch he makes is just for 10 yards. That's it. That's all he can do. And there's value for that on a team, but I'm just scared that maybe Wicks, probably less so Reed, doesn't continue to grow and take those steps forward. Because again, we were giving Romeo Dobbs at this time last year a lot of love, and he did not take that next step forward.
How would you rank these guys?
The wide receivers?
I'd go Jaden Reed 1.
Yeah.
The problem with Watson is
Wicks.
he's not consistent.
My offense going forward is built around Wicks and Reed.
I agree. And the two tight ends. Because the two tight ends are going to be a really good weapon.
I hope that Christian Watson is able to stay healthy and turn into a consistent performer. I just cannot count on that at this point.
No.
That's not something you can believe in at this point. 800-990-3776. Jeff in Minneapolis is up next. Jeff, you're on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So, Chewy, Chewy 2.0 is looking like he's coming along and could be a really good tight end, don't you think?
I like all three of those guys.
Yeah, I think they're good.
Including Ben Sims?
Yep.
Yes.
Just because he wears 89?
Yeah.
Maybe. A little bit.
Just because he wears the number 89, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt? Is that what we're doing here?
Maybe. He's elite.
So
he's elite on the Packers.
So
he's top 3 on the team.
So what I wanted to get to is, I know is it the players or the coaching? There's no question in my mind that this is 80% without question coaching. You're looking at Joe Barry's sample size. He hasn't been good anywhere he has gone.
Yeah.
It's not just in Green Bay. He hasn't been good anywhere he has gone. And coaching comes down to two things. And Chewy, correct me if I'm wrong. It's teaching and leadership. And I think him and probably his staff have failed miserably in both of those departments. Those players are playing like they, number one, don't have a clue what's going on. That's teaching. And number two, they don't believe in their coaches. They don't believe in the leadership. It's so apparent. And I think that is the problem. Gabe, you had that conversation last night about Flores in Minnesota. They largely have the same team, and that's the difference. That guy is a difference maker as a coach. Where's Patton today? Is he a defensive coordinator anywhere? He's not. They are not finding the right people to fill these positions. This is more coaching than anything else. I don't know, Gabe and Chewy, what you think, but I think it's very clear that that's the big problem.
Yeah, look, I'm not defending Joe Barry, but at the same time, if I told you Rashawn Gary didn't play yesterday, you'd be like, "Oh, I thought he did play." He did, but I mean, if Rashawn Gary's this guy and this just stud, shouldn't he be? I don't know, stand out on occasion?
Yeah,
no question. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, but I also think overall that defense, like Chewy was talking about tackling, they're just holding people up.
Yeah,
they look completely pathetic. They look completely disengaged.
Here's my problem, Jeff. That's been the Packers for the last, 7-8 years. How many different defensive coordinators have been through here in the last 7-8 years? That's why I wonder, and it's not, again, that's not even just a Matt LaFleur thing. That goes back to Mike McCarthy era. Like, as a Packers fan, this has looked largely the same since about 2015. It's looked largely the same for the last 8 seasons.
That's because we had an offense and a quarterback that could put up 40 points to beat Tampa Bay, who scores 34. Yeah. I think eventually we will get there. And I'm not saying a top 5 defense would be luscious, right?
Yes. But that's the only time that they've won Super Bowls. Homer bangs this drum. And I can't wait to hear what Brian Balaga has to say tonight. Homer Hour starts at 5 o'clock here on ESPN Milwaukee. But Homer's banging this drum. Like, since Lombardi, the only time the Packers have won is when they've got a top 2 scoring defense. You guys were number 1. I believe they were number
10, though?
They were the number 2 scoring defense in
the
NFL in 2010. They were good.
With this offense.
And again, you look at all the difference makers you guys had. Look at all the difference makers that 2010 team had. That 2010 team had, and then they had a lot of guys playing off of one another. So you had like the studs in Charles Woodson and Nick Collins and B.J. Raji and Clay Matthews. But then, Tramon Williams was tremendous. He was so good.
Yeah.
And you had on the other side, like Cullen Jenkins was probably...
He's a nice player.
Like a Kenny Clark-esque. Yeah. And then because you have those guys like Howard Green's able to play well, and it just all built off of one another, where everything just seems so disconnected now. And you guys had plenty of studs on your
What's the blame on Goody? You going Joe Barry 80%, Goody? Because you're right. The more I look at it, I'm like, there are no superstars.
No, in order to have a top 5 anything in the NFL, a top 5 anything in any sport, you need to have superstars.
Yeah.
Like, if you have the best defensive coordinator in the NFL, but you don't have any studs, like, your defense has a ceiling.
Yeah.
They can only be so good.
No, I agree.
And I want Rashawn Gary to be as good as everyone tries to tell me he is. And I don't want to dismiss the 2-3 sack games he has this year, but that's the majority of his sacks.
Yeah.
He's got 9.
Mm-hmm.
6 in 2 games.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And then just has games for yesterday. 1 tackle. No quarterback hits. No pressures.
Lucas Van Ness was a bigger contributor.
Yeah. So you just can't, if you are that much of a stud, like, and again, not to say that he's going to be Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald's a Hall of Famer, but Aaron Donald impacts every game he plays in. Rashawn Gary did not impact the game yesterday.
Did we start looking for a coordinator? A hot coordinator that's out there? No? This season is like...
Should we start?
No, but remember we were talking a month ago, like, all right, we should probably start watching more USC football games or
Yeah.
Washington.
This has been a wilder roller coaster ride than I could have possibly imagined. Here. That actually belongs to you. Josh, you gave me your jewelry center lead.
Way to go, Joshy.
Well, I wanted to do a quick one. I'm like, I got to know I got a jewelry center one in here, and I didn't want to do the giveaway. So now we're back up against it. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to punt. We're punting on the read. We're going to take more of your calls coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Are you ready to upgrade your concrete surfaces in your home? Let me tell you about Showtime Floors and Floor Shield. It's used by military bases, airports, businesses, and of course residential homes too. It is designed to beautify and protect your concrete surfaces. What does that mean? It means if you're pulling into your garage or pulling out of your garage and the headlights hit cracks, uneven surfaces, problems, Showtime Floors is the answer. You can enjoy a 15-year warranty against wear and find offers of up to $300 off, plus mention ESPN for 10% off on their website. What is it? ShowtimeFloors.com. ShowtimeFloors.com. ShowtimeFloors.com to beautify and protect your concrete surfaces.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As the end of 2023 approaches, I'm grateful for the entire James Imaging Systems team. So thank you for your steadfast commitment and incredible work ethic to help our clients turn challenges into opportunities. Opportunities that help them succeed. I also extend my gratitude to our clients for the trust and confidence you've placed in James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner. It's an honor to play a small part in helping you grow and plan for a better, more rewarding 2024. Finally, as we spend time with others during this holiday season, I believe that if we display the positive energy of gratitude, we'll provide our community with a foundation of grace on which to build a brighter and successful future. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977. The Boucher Group has exciting news to share with you. We've expanded to better serve our community.
Introducing Nissan Lake Country, the newest addition to our family.
Step into our showroom and discover our exceptional selection of brand new Nissans.
We're also stocked with the best pre-owned options in the market.
And as we expand, we're not just growing our inventory, we're also growing our team.
So join a team that values your skills and celebrates your success.
Visit us online or in-store today and view our current job listings at bouchercareers.com.
Hey, Fleet Rewards members! Save 12% now through the 24th at Fleet Farm. No rebates, no waiting, no mail-in forms or receipts. The added 12% savings coupon is for all members in-store and online. Not a member? Sign up in minutes to get your additional savings now. Forget the stamps or waiting for rebates. Save 12% during Fleet Rewards Appreciation Days. And thanks for shopping Fleet Farm. Some restrictions apply.
'Twas the night before Christmas and my mind was going crazy. What in the world am I gonna get for Aunt Daisy? A box of chocolate or wine? Ugh, would a gift basket be fine? Then out of the blue, a great idea flew. The Golden Mast on Okachi Lake. A Weisgerber gift card. Why didn't I think of that? For heaven's sake. A perfect gift. Dinner with a view. A warm fireplace. Filet mignon. Shrimp scampi, just to name a few. The holiday decorations are over the top. I bet the Golden Mast is a great idea for a happy hour stop. Live music, German night, fish fry, Sunday brunch. I'm thinking Christmas party, just a hunch. Whether it's 10 or 250 you must entertain this season, the Golden Mast has private rooms for whatever the reason. On grasshoppers, on martinis, hot toddies, and more. I can't wait to get to the Golden Mast to see what's in store. Golden Mast, dash in to dine, or buy gift cards online. Get to the website to see what's going on. That's goldenmastin.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Any of those things because it exceeds. It's like I'm sorry, I'm burping up my apple right there. That's what that was. I wasn't pausing for effect. I literally was burping
All right,
my
can we
apple.
just go to break?
No.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm not trying to take credit from anybody. Tampa just flat out whipped us today. So again, give their coaches, their players a ton of credit, but I've got to be better.
Matt LaFleur, after the Packers lost last night to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How many times this year has he said exactly that?
All the time.
They just whooped us.
A lot. I mean, to be honest, anytime they get whooped, but I kind of appreciate that about Matt LaFleur. Is like when they get their ass kicked, he's willing to admit that they got their ass kicked.
Was that the worst loss of the year?
Yes.
I mean, because Tampa Bay should have scored 7 more.
I think sure, but I mean, I guess it doesn't like. Do I feel differently today if the final's 42-20 versus 30 or 41-20 versus 34-20? No, like I still feel the same. So that last touchdown doesn't really mean anything to me. But is last week or this week? Which one's worse?
I think the Giants game. Well, at least myself, I saw that coming.
Well, you're trying to claim that you saw this one coming too.
I did. Yep.
Did you make a prediction this week on the social media graphic?
Yeah, that I just.
Did you say the Packers are going to win?
I think 1-0.
Did you toed out?
I think I said 1-0, and the girl texted back like, "What?" I'm like, just roll with it, please.
Well, see, now I got to look this up and see what your actual prediction was.
I think it was 1-0. I didn't have a great feeling about this game. Did you?
I was scared. I was a little scared, yes. I mean, I didn't think that would happen, that you get a perfect quarterback rating out of Baker Mayfield, but it was even Mike Evans. Like, Mike Evans was the one that scared me, and Mike Evans wasn't the one who had the big game. He had the touchdown, but...
Didn't need him.
Just tough.
Are they going to lose this week?
No.
Why?
Carolina's that bad.
One side of the ball is really bad.
For Carolina?
No, for us.
Oh, sure. But, like, as bad as the Packers' defense is,
yeah, but we have
Carolina's offense is worse.
Yeah, but
It's bad. If you've watched Red Zone at all, or if you happen to stumble across like any Thursday night game they've happened to play in, like every analyst is like, man, just nobody's open. Nobody on this team can get open. Everybody just plays man to man, and nobody can get separation.
Yeah, but are there
Barry's got some
defensive?
zone
Let me
for
ask
that.
you this, because this happened in my day. I think it was 92. You would literally go out to the players' parking lot.
Yeah.
With 2 weeks left, and some guys' cars were already packed.
I don't think they're there here at that point.
Defensively.
For the Packers?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're packing
No one's
things
packing
up.
a car?
No, I don't think so. I don't get that feeling.
Their defense stinks.
Yeah, their defense stinks, but I think for the guys that are out there, they're trying.
Just not good at it.
Yeah. I don't think they're giving up. Just happen to be bad at it.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely tell there's two.
Like,
one side of the ball
where are
is
you
trying
getting
to
that?
have fun. One side of the ball is trying to have fun,
Yeah.
right? The young guys, they're trying to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a great offensive performance, but these guys are playing with energy. Watch the difference between when the offense is on the field and when the defense is.
Yeah.
I was blown away by the one play where they just held Godwin up and no one was, it's like, okay, yeah, don't get hurt. It looked like the Pro Bowl. That's what it looked like. Am I right or wrong?
You're not wrong. But here's the thing, Chew. When you're giving up a 158.3 rating at Baker Mayfield, guess what's happening?
Quitting?
You're not having fun.
I'm tired.
Not having fun. Tough to have fun when you're doing that. Easier to have fun when Tay Wicks is running around making plays, when Jordan Love is extending plays and dropping dimes in the back right corner of the end zone to Jaden Reed. That's fun. You're having fun. You're making plays. Things are happening. That's why people on offense are looking like they're having fun.
Yes. But it looks like the defense quit.
When it's 1st and 24, no, they didn't quit. I don't think they quit.
They're just not good?
They're bad.
All right, then.
I think you're confusing bad versus quitting. We saw the Chargers quit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the 350-pound lineman who ran just untouched into the end zone because nobody chased him. That's quitting. Rudy Ford chased down that receiver who I don't even know to bat the ball out.
More.
They missed on a lot of tackles, but they were flying around. They just can't get there.
Yeah. Like the Chargers punt returner during that game, he was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, Chew. Like, he got stripped.
Just looked at the ball.
He's got stripped. It's like the first time I've ever seen an NFL player get stripped, still somehow be on their feet, and then just stare at the ball as it just falls to their feet.
I could get
But I can't remember the last time
That's quitting.
I can't remember the last time I laughed at a game. Laughed.
Yeah, it was bad yesterday.
I was trying to have fun.
Yeah. And you didn't know what else to do, so you just laughed?
I was betting on Tampa Bay getting a first down when it was 2nd and 19. And they got the first down.
That's also a stat you can look at. They track like first downs and how defenses handle those. Would you guess that the Packers are the worst at allowing teams first downs?
I take some odd comfort in that. Just because, usually it just seems that way.
Yeah.
No, they're actually that okay. Like, I take some odd comfort in knowing they're actually that bad. And, because you're not diving into every NFL game each and every weekend, so you don't get to see those plays all the time. Oh, this probably happens to other teams. No, this actually only happens to your team. There's some odd comfort.
Nobody is worse at surrendering first downs than the Green Bay Packers.
It's bad.
That's just a fact.
So bad.
Oh, my God.
Would you, if you were Matt LaFleur, I'll give you 2 minutes to think this one through, Chew. If you were Matt LaFleur, would you fire Joe Barry today? We get Chewy's answer in 2 minutes on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
We have some delays on northbound 43 right about at Bender Road. We had a disabled vehicle that was blocking the right lane. That has now been cleared, but we do have delays all the way back to about Capitol Drive. Southbound side is going to be slowing from Hampton down past Capitol. Westbound 94 slowing down from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on westbound 94, as you continue into Waukesha County, got some heavy pockets of traffic, basically right around Elm Grove Road, Calhoun, and then again just west of Barker Road. Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for nearly 30 years. Get the perfect holiday gift this season, a Bartolotta's gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Morning snow showers, then cold and very windy, a high of 34. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 19. Weather is brought to you by Adams Generators, the #1 rated Generac dealer in Wisconsin. Call for your free quote today at 262-944-2010 for power peace of mind, or visit adamspower.com/generators. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
In the heart of downtown Milwaukee, there's an all-new Potawatomi Casino Hotel, where there's a table waiting for you at 12 bars and restaurants, a winning seat at 40 table games or 3,000 slot machines, plus the thrill of bingo, full-service sports betting, and more. Are you ready to spark something new? Light up your senses at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Explore more at paysbig.com.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Brust and Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Mayfield to the end zone. Evans, touchdown! Mayfield, he's got White at the 10, 5, touchdown! Rashad White. Love pressure coming. He's in trouble. He lost the football. Scooped up by Tampa Bay. David Moore exploding to the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
That was a tough one. Give Tampa a ton of credit. They came in and they whooped us in every phase.
We've had highs and we've had lows, so it's just finding a way to win these games. That's what it comes down to.
Right now, we're looking for solutions.
Got 3 games left, so just got to get back to the win column.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but run.
Do you think there's anybody out there who doesn't think that Joe Barry should be fired?
Yeah, me.
What?
Are you talking today or at the end of the season?
But you think he should be fired?
Not today.
Why shouldn't he be fired today?
Who are you going to bring in?
Who cares?
No, it doesn't.
Here's the thing, Chew. It doesn't matter. It literally cannot get worse than the last 2 weeks. Literally cannot. You turned Tommy DeVito into the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and you just gave up the first ever perfect passer rating at Lambeau Field to a visiting quarterback.
I would just pull him in and say, just pay Joe. I'm not firing him today. I'm not a fan of firing coaches in the middle of the season unless you're the guy in L.A. Chargers. They should have fired him at halftime. That was a great suggestion, whoever brought that up. But I would bring him, Joe, in and say, Joe, your philosophy doesn't work. I'm giving you permission. He did that in
the offseason.
I know, but I'm giving you permission these last 3 games. Just cut it loose. Blitz everyone. Just,
He did that this offseason, Chew.
No, I know.
And obviously that didn't.
But that's Floor's fault.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
What's firing him today going to do, though? Besides make you feel good.
Damn it. You already knew what my answer was.
Would you fire him, Joshy?
Yeah, why not? What's there to lose? What's
there to gain?
In which way would the Packers be worse off if they fired Joe Barry today?
What's there to gain? Maybe it galvanizes.
That ain't gonna galvanize.
Maybe
the
it galvanizes. Yeah, maybe.
Right.
But you know what's not going to galvanize the defense?
Bringing them back.
Yeah. So again, is it a long shot that it galvanizes the defense? Yes. But at this point, it's a risk worth taking. Like, maybe it's the exact same thing. And it's not like I was against when they fired Mike McCarthy in the middle of the season.
Yes.
Because that did not feel like that team, like with Joe Philbin, was going to turn anything around, and they didn't. But also, like, Mike Holmgren won you a damn Super Bowl. Like, Mike Holmgren's going in your team Hall of Fame. Mike Holmgren's got a street named after him in Lambeau Field.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he deserved a little bit more dignity of not being fired in the middle of the season. Joe Barry hasn't earned any of that benefit of the doubt. Joe Barry hasn't done any of that.
No, I'm just not a fan of it. Not a fan of it.
All right.
Because if the players quit on defense, then they're really going to quit. It's not going to galvanize them. Who's going to be the coordinator to galvanize them?
I don't care.
You can.
Yeah. What are you doing the next 3 weeks?
I got
Gotta go
Christmas
back to
presents.
Florida.
I got a wrap. I got a lot going on.
Are you a good rapper?
No, terrible. That's why I buy bags.
It's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
I just.
Does your wife still make you wrap presents, though? Because she's actually busy. Like, she's got a real job she's got to go to. You, famously,
Like, she wrapped
you
all
got
the
time.
presents this weekend.
Okay.
She kind of likes it.
All right.
Goes downstairs. I have not done it yet. I think the Amazon box look is okay. I mean, that's kind of wrapping it, right?
No.
It's wrapped.
I mean, no, it's not. It's just a box. The box is not wrapped.
Do you need your presents wrapped? I really don't.
Do I? No. But if I'm giving someone a present, chances are I'm going to wrap it.
All right. What's wrong with the box? You still have to open it.
Sure,
it's
but
pretty?
like, I mean, but even then, like, if I am giving a Christmas present this holiday season that I ordered from Amazon, I'm probably even going to open up the Amazon box just a little bit.
Why don't you
because
have Amazon wrap it?
You could pay more for that, sure.
Yeah, I can't because I'll get in trouble and I'll lose my privileges.
It's because she thinks you have time. You constantly tell people you got time.
But I'm not good at it.
I mean, it's the thought that counts. It's the effort. The little extra effort you got to put in there, big guy.
What about a bow on the Amazon bag or box? I'm big on bows.
That's literally the bow on poop. We talked. This is a thing that is. There's a metaphor for that.
Yeah, I'm not big on wrapping.
I
see it as a waste too. Like my mother used to wrap our presents with newspaper.
Oh, my dad.
Back in the day.
My dad loved doing that.
Yes.
When they would have a newspaper, he would always take the funny pages and he would make sure,
yes.
Any present that wasn't a Christmas present, because my mom would always have good wrapping paper and, I mean.
I kind of miss the paper. Can you still get papers?
What?
Like the paper.
Yeah.
Like the Journal Sentinel.
Yeah.
Can you still buy that?
Of course you can.
Where?
Gas stations, everywhere.
You could subscribe, get it sent to your house.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they still do that? Nobody reads a newspaper anymore, Gabe. You're looking at me crazy. 2% of the people probably read a newspaper.
My guess is that online subscriptions certainly outweigh, but some people like. Are you familiar with a man by the name of Steve True?
Yes,
goes by Homer.
Yes.
Come in here at 5:00, and he's got a newspaper, man. Like when he's staying on the road with Marquette, he's grabbing the USA Today and reading it.
When's the
like
last
the free
time,
USA Today in the hotel?
When's
he's
the
gonna
last
read
time you read a newspaper?
Where I actually read a
Yes.
newspaper? Aha.
Nah.
I mean, I'm looking at 10 years, 15 years.
I've probably come across one in a lobby of sorts and picked it up and read or perused.
Sure.
But seeking out and reading an article in the newspaper, it's 10 plus years.
Yeah, it's over a decade.
Yeah.
Magazines? Do you get Golf Digest?
I do, but you get Golf Digest by being like a member of the WSGA, because
Yes.
you got to give the WSGA $30, $35, whatever it is, to keep your handicap. And by doing that, they send you Golf Digest.
Yeah.
I throw it away. I throw it in the recycling right away. The second it comes, because any of those articles, I see them typically on mine before anything else.
Okay.
I mean, technically, I subscribe to this thing called the Golfer's Journal, which is like an upper echelon. It's a nicer magazine.
Yeah.
But it's not like the typical magazine that you would think. But you know what? I get the every year I do the Phil Steele college football one because there's a lot of good info in that one. It's just a lot of good info kind of collected in one spot.
Why don't you do that online?
Because I don't think he does it online.
Oh.
He just sells it.
Okay.
In the magazine form.
No, I miss the newspaper.
If you missed
With a cup
you
of
would
coffee?
buy it.
I don't miss it that much.
You just missed the idea of it.
Like if there was one here, I would probably read it today.
Yeah, because you're an old
and
man.
Be fine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because again, like I subscribe to the Journal Sentinel. I just have the app. Like I was telling you about so there's a Pete Doherty article right now on the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I was telling you about this morning where he was basically saying like, hey, Joe Barry's gone. Whether it's today, whether it's the end of the season, there's no way Joe Barry comes back.
I guarantee.
And I read that through the Journal Sentinel app.
I guarantee Jason would be on the same page with me. He doesn't want him fired today, and he sees no benefit. We'll ask him tomorrow, but I guarantee, right? Are you with me or no?
I don't know.
I would say
that's how like Jason as a person, obviously I would say is anti-firing.
Yes.
But yesterday was so bad that I could see him coming around and saying, yeah, I'd fire him today.
No, he won't, I guarantee. Because he'll see no benefit in doing it.
Yeah. Mike in Madison points out this. Perhaps if they fire Barry today, Jair will play on Sunday. Because we know Jair is very anti-Joe Barry.
Yeah, but the more I think about it, because I think Jason brought it up last week, I think it's contract related.
Is it?
Yes. You don't think so?
Maybe. But again, do I think Jair's chances of playing would go up if they fired Joe Barry? I do.
Really?
He's been anti-Joe Barry since forever.
I think it goes deeper than that.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But getting rid of him certainly would help.
Getting rid of Jair or getting rid of Joe Barry?
Barry.
Okay.
Barry helps the Jair situation.
Well, we're going to find out.
How would you fix this defense? 800-990-3776. That is the number to get into the show. We'll get back to your calls. We'll get to ask Rob Domofsky whether or not he would fire Joe Barry today as he joins us at 8:30. That's coming up here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Surfer Boy Pizza, Radical Pizza, brought to you straight from your TV screen. If you haven't had it, like Surfer Boy Pizza, it just has that crust that's got that flavor that you're looking for. And if you're going Surfer Boy, that seems familiar. What do I know Surfer Boy? Well, you know Surfer Boy Pizza because it was inspired, because it was seen in season 4 of the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. So keep an eye out for Surfer Boy Pizza at Walmart, Hy-Vee, Jewel, Price Chopper, Festival Foods, Woodman's, Piggly Wiggly, Tony Sendik's, Cub Foods. I love Surfer Boy Pizza. It's one of the coolest things that I think Palermo's has done, tying themselves into the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. And, of course, it's Palermo. So you know the pizza itself is going to be great. So you can get pepperoni, the multi-meat, the supreme, the regular cheese, and because it's Surfer Boy Pizza, get that pineapple jalapeno with those pineapple chunks and jalapeno slices. Keep an eye out for Surfer Boy Pizza in the freezer section of your local grocery store. Surfer Boy from Palermo's. Palermo's, it's Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups along eastbound 94 coming in from about 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43 is going to be slow, basically from Silver Spring all the way down to about Keith. And in Kenosha, northbound 94 has the left lane blocked just north of Highway 158 with a crash. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today. Morning snow showers, then cold, very windy, a high of 34. Tonight, mostly clear and cold, a low of 19. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Hi everyone, John Miller here from PDS, a Converge company. PDS has been providing technology solutions and transforming IT for area companies for over 30 years. Today, we are helping organizations integrate digital workplace strategies that are giving today's worker the true ability to work from anywhere as they balance work and life both securely and productively. And as HP's largest partner in the area, our combined combined solutions have never been more important. If you're struggling with this, know we stand ready to help. From ideation to transformation, we can help you evolve your work from anywhere strategy. Learn more at pdsit.net.
Q Club of Wisconsin is your hangout spot for watching sports, playing games, and having some drinks. Mike, what do you have going on over there?
Gary, we have so much going on. We're still the place to be on game days to catch the green and gold. Book a holiday party in our VIP room, which includes a private pool table, 2 shuffleboard tables, and 4 dartboards. Plus, we got great live music every Saturday night. And of course, we've got our fish fry on Wednesdays and Fridays, where you know we pile it high!
All happening at the Q Club of Wisconsin, North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Check out qclubofwisconsin.com.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and you gotta love finding change in the junk drawer, or even better, a 20 in your laundry or pants pocket, right? But the best source of extra cash may be in the walls of your home. All right, wait. Now, put down the sledgehammer and tap into the value of your house by setting up a home equity line of credit and experience a state of tranquility, knowing funds are there when you need them. Get started at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Kessler's has the perfect Christmas gifts for under $115.
Number 1, the Time and Eternity Diamond Pendant empowers you to accomplish the impossible together.
Love has a magnificent, magical kind of energy.
Now imagine that energy.
That magical energy of love.
Captured in a pendant for time and eternity.
It's a symbol that says the two of you will always be connected.
Number 2.
This Christmas is your chance to own a moon and back diamond pendant.
A perfect Valentine's heart cupped inside a crescent moon with the engraved message, I love you to the moon and back.
And Kessler's price of just $48 will send you to the moon with joy.
Number 3.
The life we share is an important diamond pendant that speaks of all the wonderful things that exist because the two of you came together.
3 perfect Christmas gifts for under $115.
From one perfect store.
Find the Kessler's Diamonds nearest you.
And see our extended holiday hours
at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can just save yourself so much time by going, okay, we like this guy, this guy, this guy. Let's take a look at all the different things he did at the Combine. I just hit my phone, and now my hand is just tingling.
What is with you two today? Jesus. Do you know how to function?
I just like...
On 94.5 ESPN.
It would seem you've got a bunch of good players on defense. Why do you think it just hasn't added up, whether it's run defense in past weeks, pass defense this week?
Again, I'm going to go back and take a look at the tape. I think it's just, you got to give me time to go back and look at it.
Just this game per se, but the last several.
I'm just going to go back and look at the tape, Bill. Thank you.
I mean, that was a good follow-up by Bill, because this wasn't just a one-game thing. But that was the default answer for Matt LaFleur yesterday. I'm taking a look at the film.
He really didn't want to answer that question. I think it's easier
I
to
love
draft.
how at the end, can we listen just to the end of it again? Does he thank Bill at the end? Does he say, I'm just going to look at the tape, Bill, thank you? Does he say thank you?
Go back and look at it.
Just this game per se, but the last several.
I'm just going to go back and look at the tape, Bill. Thank you.
Very polite.
Tape, Bill. Thank you.
He thanks Bill Huber for the question at the end.
I would have just said, did you realize that the New Orleans Saints sacked
Tommy
DeVito 7 times?
Well, they had to make up for, the lack of sacks that the Packers had on Monday night. A team that had given up 69 sacks in 12 games and then still had 69 sacks given up through 13 games.
You think it's harder to draft defensive players over offensive players? Because if you look from just for this year alone, the draft picks on the offensive side of the ball were unbelievable.
Yeah.
He kind of just built the team in 1 year for the future. With the 2 tight ends.
Yep.
Wicks, Reed.
Reinforcements are coming next year.
Yeah. Do you think it is easier?
It's possible. I mean, I think it's just tough to play defense in the NFL today, and maybe more and more of those athletes aren't playing defense. Like if Deion Sanders came through today, would he be a defensive player? Or because he's so athletic that he would just be a full-time offensive player?
He could be a Shohei. Because he was when I played. He played both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he played a little bit of offense.
Yeah.
But would he be strictly an offensive player today, is what I'm asking. Especially because that type of athlete.
No, I'd want him as a defensive player because you can shut down.
Sure, but I'm just saying.
Of the field.
I'm saying that type of athlete now, where maybe the fear was, he's kind of small. Is he going to be able to survive going over the middle? Like that fear doesn't exist anymore in today's NFL.
No, you're right.
So
I still think elite athletes though play the corner because that's
for
those. If you're not as good as wide receiver, you can still make a boatload.
Yes,
at corner.
Yeah.
Gee, I'm not in the camp where these defensive players aren't good. I'm not there yet. I think they're not developing.
I do think we owe them the opportunity with a new defensive coordinator and some new guys at the position groups. I think the players, for what's been invested in them, where they've been drafted, like I wouldn't want to move on from really anyone before I see them with a new defensive coordinator.
So they're
I'm ready to move on from DeAndre.
Yeah, yes, of course. The egregious. I was talking of the guys that we invested draft capital into. Really.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up. Yeah, like I'm not giving up on Quay. I'm not giving up on Devontae Wyatt. Like they still have 2 or 3 years if you pick up the 5th-year option left. Like I'm not giving up on them. But additionally, like the one good player that stood out on tape this year, they did trade away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to add another first-round pick to the defense this upcoming year.
Hard to imagine it's not going to be a defensive pick.
Yeah.
You don't think it's left tackle?
No.
I mean, Chewy wouldn't invest in offensive linemen like that.
I mean, because it's projecting, what are they going to have? 15th pick? Somewhere in there? 13, 14, 15, 16?
Right now, they're 11th.
They're 11th?
Yes. Right now, if the season ended today, they would pick 11th.
How does the season end up?
My guess is they go 2-1.
That's what I was going to say. Which leaves them at 11? That might...
No, that probably...
13,
I mean...
13, 14?
Yeah, mid-teens. Anywhere from 13 to 16.
I'm not taking a left tackle.
Yeah, I know you're not.
You would?
It depends upon what's there on the board.
Left tackle's really not an issue. And it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, but there's still... I mean, I guess you pick one and you just rotate, you end the rotation. The offensive line has not been as big of an issue, I would agree. The offensive line has been able to pass block. They've held up.
You can't run block.
No.
Which is weird.
Yeah,
isn't that a little
Aaron,
strange?
Jones started out the game
44
strong,
yards. He had 44 yards in the opening
good.
drive. He finished with 53.
And then, I mean, I know you're playing catch-up because you're down pretty much 10 points the whole game, but should he have stuck with the run a little more?
It's hard for me to say that just because I feel like when they did run it, they got a yard or two, and then it was 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, you can't really go back, do I really want to risk running the ball here again and being in 3rd and 7? Or do we just start throwing the ball? And they threw the ball efficiently.
They were fine. They were not bad. They weren't great. They were fine.
Yeah.
They were fine. I just like it. Like the one series inside the 10 where they didn't score.
Yeah.
I was like, quarterback draw.
Yeah, well, they tried to run it a couple of times. I think
draw?
Aaron, no, just running the ball in general there.
Yeah.
And then they threw the out route on 4th down to Jaden Reed, and it was just a bad throw from Jordan.
Yeah. I think they need to take the wheels off of him again.
I think they did.
I don't think so.
What do you mean?
I would run him more.
Look, man, he's not... Did you not see last week when they did run him and he didn't get to the edge and then fumbled the football? I don't think he's as good of a runner as you think he is.
You don't think so?
No.
All right.
I saw an edge that was there to be gotten, and he could not get there.
I tell you what I don't like.
I think he's good enough. He's a good enough quarterback to extend plays and run outside of structure, but he's not someone I'm running a read option a ton with. Like, the only reason I would want him to pull it out is if I think that the defense has no idea it's coming.
Okay. I'll tell you what I don't like is LaFleur going for every time it's 4th and 3.
Of course you don't.
I don't. It's stupid video game crap. Punt the ball, put him inside the 5, and let him go 95.
You also hate
which
punting.
They probably will.
Yeah.
Right? I was going to say, we just spent an hour and a half talking about how the defense is so bad, and you're like, well, they'll get a stop here.
Also, you hate punters.
I do, but there's a time and a place. Like giving the ball to the opposing team on the 50-yard line is like, here we go. Licking your chops.
Yeah.
When you have the ball at the -5, it's a grind. It's like, all right, come on, we got to dig ourselves out of this hole.
Well, I mean, when did it take Tampa that long to dig out of that hole?
It took them longer to dig out of the hole. They suck. That game was terrible.
Yeah, it was very, very bad. We'll continue to recap it with Rob Domofsky as he joins us next year on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But do want to remind you that the Quick Trip Holiday Faceoff is returning to Milwaukee. We want to send you to the Thursday, December 28th games at Fiserv Forum. Caller number 4. Caller 4 right now wins 4 tickets to see the Badgers battle Air Force Falcons in prime time. Badger hockey team, men's team, women's team, both really good this year. We can see the men's team battle the Air Force Falcons, and perennial power 3-time national champion Minnesota Duluth plays Northeastern in the other semifinal. Don't miss college hockey right here in Milwaukee. Caller 4 wins 4 tickets right now at 800-990-3776. If you don't win these, you can also get your tickets. Ticketmaster.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 94 in Kenosha County, we have an accident just north of Highway 158 that is blocking the left lane, so watch out for that. Southbound on 43, backing up from just before Silver Spring, all the way down past Keefe. On eastbound 94, a little bit tight through the stadium interchange itself. On the westbound side, you're seeing delays from Calhoun almost to Barker Road. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Morning snow showers, then cold, very windy, a high of 34. Tonight, mostly clear and cold, a low of 19. Weather is brought to you by Pickleball Kingdom Brookfield, the first professional level indoor facility in the Milwaukee area. Opening spring 2024 at the Ruby Isle Shopping Center. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Come to Fiserv Forum to see the resurgent Wisconsin Badgers on December 28th and 29th in the Quick Trip Holiday Face-Off. See how Coach Hastings has rebuilt the Badgers into a national power. Get your tickets now to see the Badgers battle the Air Force Falcons in primetime on day 1. The excitement continues with perennial power and 3-time national champion Minnesota Duluth playing the Northeastern Huskies in the other semifinal. Don't miss the college hockey action coming to Milwaukee and see who wins the championship on day 2. Get your seats today at Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
Adulting in the fall means responsible spiking. For pumpkin spice or whatever your preferred fall drink concoction is, spike it with rum chata. It's a solution for any occasion. Rum chata is the world's finest liqueur featuring premium Caribbean rum combined with vanilla, cinnamon, and the highest quality dairy cream sourced from Wisconsin. Enjoy a smooth shot or a tantalizing spiked beverage with Rum Chata Original. And, backed by popular demand for a limited time, Rum Chata Peppermint Bark. Rum Chata, the superior way to spike and sip responsibly this fall.
The big guy needs some help this holiday season, so of course he's going to the Corners of Brookfield, just like you. Find something for everyone at the Corners. The 30-plus retailers and restaurants are sure to check off every wish on your lists, and the Corners has 15-minute parking for a quick in and out. But if there's a gift only Santa can deliver, head to the Market Square for a special North Pole mailbox. Letters are accepted until December 22nd. This season, the perfect gift is right around the Corners. Visit thecornersofbrookfield.com for more.
Cousin Subs is here to rescue you from the winter blues with the hero of all Euros. Their mouthwatering Euro is back and features Euro meat, Wisconsin feta cheese, fresh cucumbers, onions, tomatoes, and Greek yogurt tzatziki sauce on their freshly baked Italian bread. So warm up your taste buds today and enjoy a Euro done better the Cousin Subs way. Order online at cousinsubs.com for pickup or delivery. Available for a limited time only. Cousin Subs, they believe in better.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't compete in the sports I loved. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. It's the best decision I've made. I felt no pressure to have surgery. That was important to me. We had choices. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours and back in action shortly after. I recommend meeting their doctors. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
ESPN's #1 source for green and gold information.
What's the biggest mistake that new quarterbacks make? Turnovers. And he hasn't had it.
And mating rituals.
The Shed Aquarium in Chicago was one of my favorite school field trips this year, and I believe there were dolphins there, but they left that out.
Our most musically inclined and bald guest.
Wow, I'm a little, it's only love. It's only love.
It's Rob Domofsky on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Always love talking to Rob Domofsky. Joins us Mondays here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
Is there a chance, what percent chance would you say there's news that ends up breaking out of 1265 today?
When I went to bed last night, I thought there was a really good chance that, so much so that I set my alarm for much earlier than I usually do, thinking news might break. Usually, full disclosure, I'm getting out of bed on Mondays at about 8:15, showering real quick, then getting on the show with you guys at 8:30. But I set my alarm for 7 o'clock this morning thinking, I better be ready in case there's news. I actually have a pre-written story about Joe Barry getting let go, so all I have to do is fill in some details. But here we sit at 8:35 and nothing, so I'm starting to think that maybe there's not going to be any news coming out of there today.
Who would be the interim, Rob?
Yeah, I thought about that, Chewy. My guess would probably be Kirk Olivadotti for a couple reasons, the inside linebackers coach. One, he's heavily involved in the communication, on the headset. And then two, he's got the most experience, probably him or Jerry Montgomery have the most experience of anybody on the defensive coaching staff. I suppose it's also possible that Greg Williams, who is the new cornerbacks coach, but he's also the passing game coordinator, so maybe he would. But it isn't like there's it's not like there's a veteran defensive coach that's been a coordinator before on the staff. So I do think that is a good question.
He doesn't survive this at the end of the season, though, right? It either happens today or it happens the day after the season ends, right?
I think so, Gabe. I mean, they passed the point of being able to make this work, right? And here's the hard part for Matt LaFleur is he's really good friends with Joe Barry, and that's sometimes the problem in this league that coaches make is that they hire their friends, and it makes it harder. You remember Mo Drayton, the special teams coordinator from a couple of years ago? It was the San Francisco game, right? The playoff game where they had the block punt, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was under his watch. And it was so obvious that they needed to make a change there. And do you remember how long it took Matt LaFleur to make that change? It was like 2 weeks after the season. I kept checking every day. And, sources were telling me, he hasn't decided yet. He's really having a hard time with this. Mo Drayton's one of his guys. They work out together, this and that. And then he finally, after like 2 weeks, decides he's got to make a change of special teams coordinator. But then he was considering actually keeping Mo Drayton on the staff in another capacity. Like that shows you how much of a problem that Matt LaFleur has doing this. And to be honest with you, it might end up being his downfall as a coach. Like you have to be ruthless. I understand that you don't want to be a guy who fires coordinators willy-nilly because then, guys might not want to come work for you and things like that. But, Ron Wolf always used to say the biggest mistake was not correcting a previous mistake, like compounding it by keeping a guy around or, not cutting or trading a player that you knew wasn't good enough. I mean, look, Ray Rhodes, when he hired him, he cut bait after a year because he knew it wasn't working. And at the time, that didn't happen, right? Like there weren't many one and dones back in 1999 like there are now.
Is there more to Jair's not playing than just the shoulder? Is it a contract thing? I mean, because, Rob, there's a part of the game I looked yesterday. These guys don't tackle anyways. All they did is hold Godwin up and wait for the ref to call the thing dead. Is there more to it?
I don't. Yes, I do think there is more to it. To answer your question, I don't think that. I do think he is injured. Okay, I do think he has a shoulder injury, but the fact that he is able to practice week after week after week, I know it's a limited basis, whatever, and then not play tells me that the team thinks that he should be playing and he won't play. Okay, now I don't think it's a contract thing. He's still the highest paid cornerback in the NFL based on APY. Now, he got a ton of that money up front in a signing bonus. So, I mean, is it possible he blew through that money and, wants some more upfront money? Maybe, but I don't think that it's contractual at this point. Could it be that he doesn't believe in Joe Barry and doesn't want to play for him? Sure, it could be. Could it be that he doesn't have any respect for the head coach and the head coach doesn't have any respect for him and there's an issue there? It could be. Why wouldn't they have put him on like a suspended list at that point? Well, I think there's a reasonable answer to that question too, is because if they want to trade him during the offseason, they don't want that known that, that they're done with him in that because of that, and it would lower the trade value. I think there's all kinds of reasons why Jair might not be playing beyond the injury. Now, I will preface it by saying that none of those are things that we know for sure at this point. I think it's speculation, but I think it's at this point, it's reasonable to speculate that there are things beyond the shoulder injury.
Rob, while I am certainly in the camp of, look, Joe Barry ain't it, is there something deeper going on with the Packers? Because it feels like since 2015, which again goes back a different head coach, multiple coordinators. It feels like we've been watching the same Packers defense for the last 8 years, no matter who's been responsible for the defense, no matter who's been responsible for the team. It just, I don't know. I just can't quite put my finger on it, but I'm fearful that just replacing Joe Barry and bringing in another defensive coordinator isn't actually going to fix the defense.
I totally agree, Gabe. And I was going to say 2014 is probably the last time they had a really good defense, right? Of course. And really,
and that was really just the second half. Like, that was just the second half when they shifted Clay to the inside linebacker spot. Because the first eight games, they were and the last 8 games, they were really good.
100%. And then the next year, in 2016, they were 32nd in the league against the pass, right? Dead last, if I'm not mistaken. And they had Ladarius Gunter as their number 1 cornerback in the playoff game. You're right. I do. I mean, you cannot say that they have not pumped resources into this defense when you look at the draft picks, right? I mean, even just Brian Gutekunst's tenure as general manager since 2018, every first-round pick other than Jordan Love has been a defensive player. And there have been years where there's multiple. I mean, Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary and Darnell Savage. I mean, multiple years where they've had first-round picks. Are they misidentifying on these players? Sure, that could be the case. Are the coaches not developing them? Absolutely could be the case. And do they not fit the scheme, or is the scheme not good enough? Sure. It's all, I don't necessarily think that it's one thing, but when you miss on all these things, it's where they are. And to me, really, like, it's been an organizational thing that they can't stop the run, almost going back to, Colin Kaepernick in that playoff game.
Yeah.
What was that, 2013 or whenever that was?
2012 season, it would have been January of 13.
Yeah. 13 where he rushed for 180 yards, and it just seems like run defense has always been an issue here. And it doesn't matter who the GM, the coach, or the coordinator is. It's been an issue. It just seems like an organizational failure. I don't believe that there's any, it's not like there's no curse or anything over them, but it's just, it does seem strange that there's one aspect of this that they just can't get right.
Did they abandon the run too quickly yesterday, Rob? Because I thought Aaron Jones started out early with a lot of energy, looked good.
Yeah.
Was that a product of LaFleur having zero faith in Barry, knowing that this was just going to be a track meet?
Probably. I think that's probably right, Chewy. The other thing that was crazy to me, and it sort of relates to the run game, is why he challenged that spot.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to be 3rd and 1. You're telling me you don't have faith that you can get 1 yard and 2 downs. I heard you guys talking about going for 4th down all the time because you knew they would go for it on 4th and 1 because he always does, and that's fine. But like if that's the case, why do you challenge it? Is it because you have no faith in the run game, or you have no faith in the defense? You know, what's the reason there? All I know is that Aaron Jones touched it, I believe, 8 times in the opening quarter, and he ended up with
13
carries and
4 catches. Yeah. But even when he did touch it, it just seemed like they'd run it on 1st down and you get a yard or 2, and then it's 2nd and 8, and now you're kind of behind, so then you end up having to throw it. I mean, they were productive, and I think if they would have been productive, they probably would have run it more. But that's been the one thing with this offensive line, Rob, is that the offensive line, while they've been able to pass block, the run blocking oddly hasn't been good.
That is right. And if you ask offensive linemen what they'd rather do, they'd probably rather run block, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and this group, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to be very good at it. I would also say that, in previous games, the running backs aren't getting extra yards either. Like, they're getting what's blocked, and that's about it. Now, yesterday with Aaron Jones, there were a couple of times where you saw him, that 20-yard run, looked like the Aaron Jones and the offensive line of old. But we just didn't see enough. I mean, 17 total rushes, and really it was 15 because Love had the 2 scrambles.
How did you think he played, Rob? Jordan?
I thought Love played okay.
That's what I thought.
I thought he played good. I thought he played good enough. Again, Chewy, there were at least 2 times that I can recall that 2 receivers were in the same spot, which clearly was something went wrong there. Sort of reverting back to what was plaguing them early in the season when they were losing those games to Denver and the Raiders. I mean, Reed and Wicks. There was an out route to Love's left, and they both broke to the same spot, which clearly that's not supposed to happen, right? Now, somebody said, well, Love should have just thrown it to one of them. Well, he kind of threw it in between the 2 of them. But, this, you're throwing the ball to where a guy is going to be, not to where he is. The NFL, you can't wait till a guy is there. You have to throw it before he gets there. And that's obviously, I don't put that on Jordan Love at all. I thought he was poised. I thought he was accurate for the most part. And I thought Jordan Love played good enough to win.
I believe if they win out, Rob, they have a 93% chance of making the playoffs. Will this team...
If they win out?
Yes. If they win out, 93% chance. Do they win out? Do they make the postseason?
I think they win. I think they win 2.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
That's kind of where we're at, too.
I think they win this week at Carolina. Although, hey, Carolina, look at them. They won yesterday. But I don't know if it's Minnesota that gets them or if Chicago's playing better.
Yeah, they are.
They're playing better. It would be really interesting to me, Gabe, how they would react if, let's say, they do win the next 2 and they're in the situation they were in last year, going into the final game where they've got to win to make the playoffs and the other team is out of it. Because Detroit knew before kickoff last year that they were done, and they still beat these guys anyway. It would be really interesting to see where they were at. And let's just say that Joe Barry's still around for that last game and Matt LaFleur still isn't sure. And what if Justin Fields runs out all over him like Tommy DeVito did or like other quarterbacks have done, in that final game, and they lost it with a chance to go to the playoffs. But I do think they win 2 of them, and I would assume that would probably not be enough. But their overall playoff percentage, according to the ESPN analytics last night, was 27%. I didn't realize it was that high, though, if they do win out. Obviously, the ESPN model assumes that they will not win out.
Yes.
Rob, did you see that New Orleans had 7 sacks against DeVito yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
7.
And the Packers had how many?
0.
They had 2 quarterback hits. They had 2 QB hits.
The Giants had allowed how many sacks going into the Packers game? Like
69.
It was 69.
Yeah.
This is a nice
so
number.
now they're at 76 sacks allowed, none by the Packers.
That's bad.
The hits just keep on coming.
Hey, there's one other stat that I wanted to throw at you guys about the defense that I came across from NFL Next Gen stuff. And we've all seen, right, how much the Packers have played off coverage, right? And when you play off, and give cushion, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to keep everything in front. You're supposed to, it's kind of a bend, but don't break. You're not supposed to give up a ton of yardage, right?
Yeah.
Well, the Packers allowed 190 yards passing when they gave 5 or more yards of cushion, according to NFL Next Gen Stats. That's the most they've allowed this season. Chris Godwin had 8 catches for 123 yards when given a cushion of 5 or more yards. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're going to give cushion, you got to try to limit the yardage, not like load up on the yardage.
Yikes.
Hey.
Well,
that one jumped out at me this morning as I was going through some of the notes from last night. That to me was one of the big ones that I didn't see yesterday.
All right, Rob. Well, we'll let you go just in case there it happens to be any news breaking out of 1265. But as you say, as each minute passes and we get closer to Matt LaFleur's press conference, it makes me think that Joe Barry is still going to be employed in calling the defensive plays against Carolina on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll see. I assume are we not doing this next Monday because it's Christmas?
That is correct. Yes, yeah. No show next Monday.
You can show up. We won't be here.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to log on to the link and sit here and wait. But maybe we'll talk to you on Tuesday or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll have your people talk to our people. We'll figure it out.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob Demovsky joining us here as he does every Monday, maybe next week on Tuesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And Chew, while we're certainly not happy about this Packers loss, I mean, your wife's got. I mean, you know how to make your wife happy.
And Rob said it. We're a week away from the big day. That's why you should go to the Jewelry Center. Let's be honest. Most guys don't have a clue when it comes to buying jewelry. Gabe just got engaged. Did the smart thing. Got his engagement ring from the Jewelry Center. They also do in-house repairs for watches and other fine jewelry, like my Super Bowl ring when it needs work. I know I'll be taking it to the Jewelry Center. They have 3 locations to stop into: Greenfield, Brookfield, and Burlington. And if my wife can't tag along, she can look through all the many styles of diamonds and other fine cuts online at shoptjc.com. I'm living proof. Happy wife, happy life. The Jewelry Center will make it happen. Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington, and online at shoptjc.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Are you ready to upgrade your concrete surfaces in your home? Let me tell you about Showtime Floors and Floor Shield. It's used by military bases, airports, businesses, and of course residential homes too. It is designed to beautify and protect your concrete surfaces. What does that mean? It means if you're pulling into your garage or pulling out of your garage and the headlights hit cracks, uneven surfaces, problems, Showtime Floors is the answer. You can enjoy a 15-year warranty against wear and find offers of up to $300 off, plus mention ESPN for 10% off on their website. What is it? ShowtimeFloors.com. ShowtimeFloors.com. ShowtimeFloors.com to beautify and protect your concrete surfaces.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? Fifth Third offers unmatched expertise and flexibility when creating ESOP solutions. From full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
The president of James Imaging Systems, Tom Tegeter.
As the end of 2023 approaches, I'm grateful for the entire James Imaging Systems team. So thank you for your steadfast commitment and incredible work ethic to help our clients turn challenges into opportunities. Opportunities that help them succeed. I also extend my gratitude to our clients for the trust and confidence you've placed in James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner. It's an honor to play a small part in helping you grow and plan for a better, more rewarding 2024. Finally, as we spend time with others during this holiday season, I believe that if we display the positive energy of gratitude, we'll provide our community with a foundation of grace on which to build a brighter and successful future. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless America.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. Wisconsin men's basketball team got back on the winning side of things Thursday night with a big win over Jacksonville State following a loss last weekend at number 1 Arizona. Head coach Greg Gard after the game.
Playing through the paint, we knew we wanted to pound the ball inside when you have a size advantage. And I think Steve's, demand of the ball for the most part, Tyler in there, really set the tone that we were going to pound it at him.
Wisconsin gets a week of rest before returning back to the Kohl Center next Friday, December 22nd to host Chicago State. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock.
Unwrap your gift now, but pay later. Right now at Pella, put no money down, no payment, and no interest for up to 18 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Circus Sports is now available at American Place. Bet on your favorite Milwaukee and Wisconsin teams, from Wisconsin football and basketball to all the Milwaukee basketball action, as well as more games nationwide. The Circus Sportsbook at American Place has 36 TVs, so you won't miss any of the action. And it's just 30 minutes from Kenosha and 45 minutes from Racine. For more information and to find out about their events, go to circusports.com. All Circus Sports bets must be placed in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text GAMB to 833-234.
Set your game plan for a new baseball season with a 2024 Brewers 4-pack. Pick from 4 action-packed plan choices, each loaded with can't-miss Brewers games to fit your schedule and the best ticket prices. All available before single-game tickets are sold. Plus, when you buy a pair of 4-packs, you'll get a limited edition Brewers knit hat. Find the right plan for you today at brewers.com/4packs.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Come on, guys. Let's think about this. Could you do 50 straight days of burgers?
That was very condescending. I just want to be clear.
That's not.
Let's put our heads together.
Again, I have children. I know condescending when I hear it.
Come on,
on 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
Kind of feels like it's not going to happen today, does it?
No. Which is fine, as long as it happens.
I mean, I guess my drop dead is like oddly 9 a.m. Like, officially starting of the workday, and then they send it out, but like, just kind of feels like it's not going to happen.
Probably would have happened last night.
Well, if you wanted to actually watch the film, I don't think news would have broken at 11 or midnight.
Do you really have to watch the film?
That's what I mean. That was his excuse all throughout the entire thing. Was I got to watch the film.
I think.
Well, I mean, he said he wanted to watch the film.
Okay. Here's the thing: if you need to watch the film, you haven't been watching it all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because didn't Murphy fire McCarthy like right after the game? It wasn't even until.
So that's funny because I think they waited right until 6 o'clock. And at that time, WTMJ still had, the Packers rights, and Greg Matzek was doing the post-game show. And I think that they waited until that post-game show was off the air, so they didn't have their Packer radio network officially making comments about whatever was going on and having fans call in. I think they waited until right when because it was like 6 o'clock and 30 seconds when the news came out that they had fired McCarthy. Yeah. I think Murphy did that on purpose, which, again, I don't blame him for doing it that way.
Mm-mm.
But, yeah, I think that with LaFleur, it was probably going to happen today. Like, he would have waited
to watch the film.
Every extra day he's here, though, is a better chance he's back in 24.
Correct. Which is why I would prefer, yes.
No.
Yeah, every day he's here.
The nail is in the coffin.
He defended him 3 weeks ago and was arrogant about it.
If the nail is in the coffin, then you fire him today.
He said, yeah. He said, are you thinking of making a change? And he went, yeah. Well, I got to watch the film. Subliminal. He's gone. It's okay.
I'm with Joshy. Every day that he's here increases the likelihood, even if it's just minuscule, it increases the likelihood that he's back in 24.
Okay. You need to put a bet down?
No, I think he's still gone.
Okay.
But again, if he balls out and they play good against bad teams, maybe he gets crazy, brings him back like he did last year. We'll have plenty of time to talk about this. Wilde and Tausch, I guarantee, are talking about this next.
We've just got one accident left up on the board right now. It is on southbound 4394 at Lapham. Left